Okay. All right. Namaste, great souls. Welcome to our class this morning on the chakras. The fifth chakra, we've been going up the chakra line. And again, I just want to, I'm doing it vertically up and down, but it actually goes all around, circular, touching in and out of the energy, the nadis, Irda and Pingala go around. It's not just a straight shot. But we can approach it that way too. So let me take each of these are huge topics with lots of narrative and dialogue, especially throat chakra is the key of communication, but I want to try to condense it and speak as we do the postures as we go along. So communication and creativity are the main aspects of the throat chakra. And on the physical level, I just want to say it's the mouth, it's the throat, and not only communication, but it's also listening with the ears and hearing. So we want to listen and hear intuition, others, and then as skillfully as possible, communicate through also the feeling of the heart, the reason of the mind, and our intuition through the throat. And as we know, sometimes it gets a little wonky. It doesn't come out as well as we'd like, but we can always recorrect as well. But it's ongoing with our clarifying our communications, putting things into words, tone, pace, and content, and ideally with clarity. Okay, so that's the basic of the throat chakra. The color is blue. And also part of the creativity is writing, is doing journaling about our internal feelings. So the shadow part of every chakra has a shadow part. So the truth, we want to connect to the deeper truth within our higher chakras, our heart. The shadow part would be the lies we may be telling ourselves, we may be telling others. Family of origin stuff, could be holding secrets, and just take a moment and breathe into that and reflect for a moment. We'll do that at the end. Kind of how your family of origin approached any types of secrets or communication. If there's more truth than shadow material. So we learn a lot from that as we get older. Literally, the word is Vishuddha, which means purification. So we have our whole life to get better at this. And classically, developmental stage is the 7 and 12 years old that we develop our better communication, and it keeps going, of course. That's pre-adolescence. All right, let's get started with our oceanic ujjayi sound. So I'm going to back it up a little bit. So first, let's just start with bringing the index finger together, Kali Mudra, and the other fingers wrap around, the thumb wraps around. And we're just breathing with awareness, particularly belly, heart, but of course, throat chakra. Trying to let the shoulders soften. And as you're breathing, you may be tuning in already into that oceanic ujjayi sound on the inhale and on the exhale. So you feel the difference between the inhalation sound and the exhalation sound. Ujjayi sound. Now we're going to add to that. We're going to let all the fingers cross, bring the knuckles underneath the chin, and then as you inhale, we're framing around the ears and the jaw, neck and shoulders connected. And then as we exhale, the head goes back if your neck is okay. And we make that sound louder as we bring our palms and wrists together. So it looks like this. Arms touch, chin parallel. We'll do this 3 to 4 times. Inhale through the nose. Frame the face. Exhale, release back. Exhale through the mouth. Chin parallel. 2 more times. Exhale back. Tips of the elbows touch if possible, then open up. 1 more time. Go back. Now we're exhaling. We did that exhale through the mouth, but now let's go back to Kali Mudra with the index finger touching, and we'll have the mouth close, and we'll just do 2 or 3 rounds of that Ujjayi oceanic breathing, belly to heart, just like full yogic breathing, but we're tuning into the throat. Feel even the cool air through the nostrils on the inhale, opening the spiritual eye. It's already open, but we're tuning in. And just having an inward reflection here. What are you being called perhaps just to clean up a little bit in your life, to purify? Is there any area within your psychology, not so much our house, our outer house, our inner house? Okay, very good. I'm going to step back, so get into the movement, a more full body movement. So, and our cat stretch, what I'm going to have you do differently is have the fingertips pointing towards you. Now, this could be a lot. If it's too much on the wrists, then go ahead and do the other classic cat variation. But let's see how we do here with bringing our fingertips toward you. This is great for texting to counteract over, the computer or texting, driving, etc. It's deep. It's meant to be. We're doing the inhale, the scooping out the low, mid, upper back, eye gaze up, and then exhale, rounding, drawing the navel toward the spine. I like my toes under. You decide. Inhale, scooping out, eye gaze up. And exhale, rounding in, drawing in. And really feel that chin drawing to the hollow of the throat. Back of the neck open. Neck and shoulders, of course, connected. Inhale. A lot of focus on that today's class. Widening through the sit bones. And folding in. Okay, take a moment and bring the fingertips towards you with the back of the hand facing down, and just rock side to side with the hips. Opening that channel through the neck, through the arms, through the hands, shoulders. Okay, regular planting of the hands, hovering off of the knees. Couple breaths here, core strengthening. I'm always working the entire body, even though we're focusing on the throat. And then as we pour back, shredding it out. Keep pressing through the thumb, index finger, base of the fingers, spreading out the toes wide. And then just notice what happens when you're fairly stable in your arms and your legs. When you look
You were opening the throat in down dog. We're looking toward the right armpit, underneath the right armpit, opening the neck and throat, and then coming back to center. Make that exhalation strong. That Ujjayi sound. Looking over toward the left armpit, opening up the neck, throat, and when you're ready, back to center. And we want that calmness to radiate as we bend the knees and ripple through the spine. Calmness radiates through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. And calmness, this is from Yogananda's teachings, is one of the qualities of the throat chakra, because it's between the heart feeling and the reasoning mind. In the middle, that energy flows through the middle, and hopefully there's a calm understanding. It could be erratic, of course, but we know we can come back to calmness. All right, let's come into plank. In our plank today, focus on going wide across the back of the shoulders, almost like they're drawing up to the sky, broadening across the back of the shoulders. And then bend the knees. I'll turn this way. We'll do our chaturanga. Gradually, chest. Now notice what happens when the chin, if you can touch the chin, not everybody can do this, but notice that opens up the throat and the neck, unfurl the toes, elongate, and do our side opening of the scapula. Those figure eights. Get the flow going. Let's tune into the sound, that oceanic Ujjayi breath throughout the class, of course. Every class, but especially throat chakra. And the hands are going to go right by the side of the chest here as we inhale, mini cobra, legs strong. Inhale, pulse it up. Recharging the spine. Exhale, ease. And let's make that deep exhale. Letting go. Inhale, rinsing out. As we pulse up, come up a little bit higher. And then exhale. Sound. And then full cobra. Inhale. Tops, legs strong. Rising up if you can. Bhujangasana, lion's breath. Really opening up the throat chakra, sticking out the tongue. Eye gaze up. Let's do 2 more of these. That's it. Speaking our truth. And when you're ready, let's ease it back into a wide knee child's pose, prayer pose. First, extending the arms out, hips back, lifting up the wrists, coming onto the fingertips, perhaps. Seat of intuition, such as the earth. Doesn't have to, a bolster or block. Going in, we're going in. The other side of the expression is the silence. There's the expression and the creativity, but then there's the inner listening. So we want to cultivate both, the inner listening. And hearing the inner sounds. Okay, tucking the chin, rounding up. Just a transition. 1 scoop. Inhale. And hover. The knees off the floor. And to make this more when we talk about inner listening, just reflecting on your meditation practices or having a couple hours of silence intentionally as you ease those hips from side to side, but then stabilize. And a little bit like turning the head to the side, but we're going to bring our right hand more in this, a little bit toward the center, the left hand by the calf, and then we're looking over underneath that armpit. Opening the neck and the entire body. Calmness radiates through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. And then we release, walk that left hand in the center, going to the other side with the right hand. Somewhere. If it doesn't touch, that's okay. You're in that direction. The main thing is you're looking underneath that left armpit. Really opening up to calmness, peace, radiating through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. And release, walking the hands back, toes turned in. Make sure you're balanced through the 4 points on the feet, slight bend of the knees. Let the palms rest at the elbows, shake the head gently, left and right. You can let the whole torso ease as well. Relax and cast aside any unnecessary mental burden. Okay. Bending the knees, either rippling up or straight spine chair pose. Shake it out. A little bit closer, maybe right here. So I purposely didn't do the side neck stretch seated because I wanted to just let you know, of course you know this, but we could do the neck stretches as we're standing as well. So the feet are wider, and then the toes are going to turn out. Not going to go totally into a goddess pose, but we're entering in that dimension. And then notice what happens when, first circle the head a little bit around, you take your hand, we don't have to stay in goddess pose, we can pulse up as your left hand is on the right side of the head and extending the energy, opening as we're doing some goddess squats and neck opening combo. So just know if you're, walking around about 3 times each side, stand up and do this. Right hand, open up to the left side. Bring the right ear toward the right shoulder. Pulsing, or you can even just kind of play around if you want to get into more flow. I'm getting into this squatting action. Since I noticed I need to focus on that neck opening. Very good. 3 times. Lengthen up. Now we can go into our full goddess squat. Exhale, hands reach down, fingertips in, look over your right shoulder. Stretching that side of the neck and side of the body and hips. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, bend the knees over to the other side. As you're breathing, you can move around. You're working toward calm, clear, and considerate communication, ideally. I'm working toward calm, clear, considerate communication as we reach out. Bring the hands to that Kali Mudra again, the index finger toward the throat.
Yielding into the earth in our mountain pose. You know, that oceanic ujjayi sound. AH on the inhale, HA on the exhale. Let's remind ourselves by interlocking the fingers. Just one time here, framing the face, standing, inhale, and then exhale. Going back. And back to center. Again, be very mindful of your neck, okay? Alrighty, so we're going to open up. Eagle arms is fantastic for neck, shoulders, throat, heart. So we're spreading our eagle wings. We're going to do this in a series here, bringing the right elbow underneath the left. If you can, the palms come together. I get it if it's like this or like this, no problem. Okay. And we're going to pulse it up once. Tips of the elbows. And just notice when we do a forward fold with eagle arms. Forward fold with eagle arms. We exhale, rounding the spine. Not staying long, but we're getting that sensation of the deep opening in the shoulders and the neck. And then we take it, I'm going to go to the side here and step back. Whoops, I have to come out to move the blanket. We're going to step back. So the right elbow is under, the left foot is coming back. It's an up. Yeah, so right knee is tracking over that second toe, left foot back. And we're opening up as we inhale into a warrior one with eagle arms. And we're going to do that same flow coming forward. I attune my will to the source of all power. I attune my will to the source of all power. I know it's a lot. Okay. Now it's going to feel so good when we unravel and expand. Open the heart. Reach back for interlock and expand. And the head goes back if the neck's okay. Plunge deeper. And we'll take it forward. We'll bring that right shoulder toward the inside of the right knee. Deep exhalations. Couple breaths here, sustaining it. And reflecting as we inhale. Pulse it up. Reaching out. And rooting down. And in our transition, we're sweeping the arms up overhead. And then coming forward into our deeper lunge. We'll spin off of that back heel. Come on top of the left knee. And just ease from side to side. So you've probably heard the phrase, taking yourself on an artistic date. That could look a lot of ways, not only museums, but just noticing, could be a classic music, singing, music, chanting, mantra. These are all very common yoga practices to open the throat, open the heart, and keep the mind in that more of that truth center. But the artist state is giving yourself, creative opportunities of inspiration, inspiration. Okay, rolling onto the little toe side of the foot. So just notice if you could plan one of those. More of an event, so to speak, once a week, a class, or a daily singing to yourself or chanting to yourself as much as possible. Okay. All right, from here, we're going to take it back And come onto a forearm plank. Strong through the legs. Now again, keep widening through the backs of the scapula, the shoulders. Couple breaths here. Stronger, it's meant to be. And then we tap on the top of our knees, unfurl the toes into our Sphinx. I don't know if you remember last week we did a variation I've been bringing into my practice more, the mermaid locust. That means bringing the inner borders of the feet together so they're touching, more contained. And when we rise up, we feel that strong line of energy. Inhale, coming up, either mini, half, or full cobra, and lion's breath. 2 or 3 times. If it's too much with your feet together, of course, widen them apart. But then ripple down, then naturally come apart more the feet. And just rest. Take that conscious rest where you're stacking one hand on top of the other, resting at the spiritual eye. Now, the breath always starts from the belly, but really let it expand into the back of the throat, front, sides of the throat, shoulders, ears. Cultivating listening, which helps us tune into what's called the witness observer, that we all have that ability to zoom out and compassionately witness ourselves rather than the ego coming in and being the doer of everything. So cultivating, witnessing, observer. As you tune in to sound and movement of the breath. Okay, we are going to go rise up to the other side. Lots of lion's breaths and cobras today. Inhale, feet are hip width apart. Transitioning, inhale. Rising up, shoulders down, lion's breath. Reflecting on your communication, if it's been authentic. Knees touch down. Clear, compassionate. Hands come back a little bit. I know it's a little too much. We're going to pour it back to our down dog. And our focus, stay with the down dog. Our focus today is moving the head gently side to side. At your pace, at your timing, opening the neck and throat, and our down dog. Calmness radiates through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. Stepping one foot forward, then the other, one hand, then the other. See what your hands need. Do they want to rest at the elbows? Do they want to rest underneath the soles of the feet? Either way, you're in a deep forward bend, bowing to the wisdom of the heart, letting the unnecessary worries ease. Now that sound in the throat, the breath. And let's come up into chair, bending the knees, straight spine, arms reach back. Sweeping the arms up and pulsing here for a bit. And sweeping back, working toward calm, clear, considerate communication. And cultivating good listening as well. All right. Arms come out to the side. Yield into the earth. Mountain pose. It's our Kali Mudra. One breath, interlocking, framing underneath the chin. Arms come up, head goes back. Exhale through the mouth. And down. Okay. Eagle arms. Garandasana. Eagle wingspan. We were talking earlier, the birds are, we're hearing them more with this here in California, anyway, Northern California, with the sunlight. Yay. Inhale, expanding. And the left elbow underneath the right, if possible, or some variation going on. Okay. Pulse it up. And then ripple down into a forward fold.
It's a lot on the opening for the neck and the shoulders and the throat. So just be mindful if it's too much. Don't go as far. Open up the hands. Inhale, pulse it back up.
And we're going to come into our lunge series. So the left foot comes forward, the right foot back. Go wide enough so you feel balanced here. Okay. Our warrior one legs as we pulse it up. Inhale. And then we come forward. And we affirm our affirmation, our mantra, I attune my will to the source of all power. Garandasana, eagle arms, warrior one legs. I attune my will to the source of all power. See if you can root down more. Maybe take it one more time or not. You know, it's a lot. Strengthening. And then it feels so good to unfurl. Expanding the heart energy open. Reaching behind you. Opening up the throat. Truth, listening, creativity, and coming forward. Stay here a couple breaths. Reflecting on your creativity, that creative aspect. What is it for music, dance, poetry? Oh, it could be so many things. And releasing out and coming forward to rotate off of that back heel, come onto the top of the knee, and ease those hips open. That's it. If you want to walk your left arm inside and walk your left foot out to the side more, maybe come down a little bit further. Have shoulders going. So in my personal life, it's pretty great. I have these grandkids are performing at various youth orchestra. So that's built in at least this month. And then with that, there's a side, not only the music, but then at some of these places, there's art exhibits going on. So you get a visual of paintings and of sound. So very cool. That's not always my experience, but this month I'll take it. It's built in. So there's a Green Music Center this Sunday with the youth orchestra. There was a place called Cafe Frida downtown Santa Rosa that has an artist collective there. If you ever feel like getting tea at Juilliard Park. Anyway, just some easy, easy places to go for the artist date. All right, from here, let's step it back. And we're going to come all the way into our plank again. Strong, focusing on widening through the shoulders today. And see if we could do a chaturanga. It's okay, fine to do the knee, chest, chin, a classic coming down, and then locust, bringing the arms down and lifting up though, and then the legs lift up. We pulse up, recharging the spine, and we ease. If we want more intensity, we interlock. We interlock, foot up, and then open the arms out to the side. One more time. Maybe reaching to the side or interlocking, much more intense when we interlock. And then we soften completely. Try to stack the other hand on top. And again, tuning into sound of the breath. The inner silence, it's not really silence because every chakra is vibrating with sound. And particularly the ujjayi sound, you can't help but hear it. So reflecting on those moments of rest, on intentionally interiorization, quieting. The other side of the communication is the listening. Both are equally important, as we know. Okay, here we go again, rising up. Lots of locusts today, and then moving into our cobra, Bhujangasana. Inhale, press through the tops of the feet. Another round of lion's breath. 2 times. And then we pour back. Hover for a moment and then ripple back into your full expression. Downward facing dog. I'm going to go with a figure 8 in my hips. You'll feel that rippling through to your shoulders and neck. As you move your hips, again, it's not ever isolated in the body. We can also get this little ripple into a figure 8 in the shoulders. Now, if you focus on the shoulders first, it feels a little different than moving from the hips first. So just see what works best for you. And let's do some breath of fire here. Exhale, stabilize through the nostrils 10 times by pressing into the fingers, drawing the navel to the spine. Begin. Slow it down. Okay. Stepping forward. Uttanasana. Uttanasana, but halfway, meaning our hands come to the shins. Elongate into that L shape. Then fold. And notice anytime we interlock, of course it's more intense. So interlock behind you, shifting from the interlock that you did forward with the clasp. And then see what happens as we come up. Come up, possibly with the interlock. This will really get, as we're rising up, really get into the neck and the throat. Maybe arcing back a bit. Through the throat. Head goes back. And then release. Kali Mudra, or just having the arms down by your side. All right. Yielding into the earth, swirling around. I highly recommend getting a block for this. I'm also going to get a lemon water and a block, so hydrating, of course. Here's our block for our classic balance pose, Garandasana. So we did it in the eagle arm lunge. Now we're doing the more classic balance part. So place it to the outside of your right pinky toe. Opening up those eagle heart arms. Bringing the right elbow underneath the left again, pulse it up. Try to get the elbows in line with the shoulders, the forearms out in front of you. And looking at a point, a drishti point on the floor. As we bend the knees, it's a balance pose, lifting the left leg up. Knowing that that block is there, bending the knees, one knee on top of the other. Amidst life storms, I find my center. Amidst life storms, I find my center. Not in the middle of the storm, I can come back at some point to my center. And then I can also offer prayers of safety and care to others that are, as we go through these collective storms together. So the benefits of collective traumas, we could also, as we come out, hopefully be compassionate and caring to others that are going through it in their versions as we swirl around. So I was trying to find the light in the darkness. Okay. And then we're going to, before we go to the other side, we're going to do a hula hoop. Swirl it. If you want to get bigger with the movement, you're certainly welcome to just go with what feels good to your body. And we're going to take the block to the other side. So my block fell over. You could place it here, of course, higher, whatever works for you. Okay, Garandasana. Sweep it open. And the left elbow is underneath. Pulsing up. Again, we don't have to do full eagle. We could do that ripple down, ripple up to get our throat and shoulders open. But why not? We're here in a yoga class together, looking out in front, bending the knees. It's going to be different on this side. I can feel it already. As that right leg comes up, crosses over, and we sit like we're sitting in a chair, like our chair pose. Make sure my elbows are coming down. Make sure they lift up. Amidst life storms, I find my center. What's affirming the highest truth? It is a battle, we know that, of light and dark within us and all around us. Amidst life storms, I can come back to my center, and I can also offer prayer and care for others. Don't have to all be going through it, or, different times, different things come up. Challenges, inhale as we come up. And unfurling. Woo! And swirling. Okay. All right. So let's move our fingers like we're squeezing a ball out in front, out to the sides, and above. Out in front, out to the sides, and down by our sides. Okay. All right, we did a lot of eagle, a lot of forward and back. Do one side stretch. It's nice to have your block here as we step into our triangle, Trikonasana. And left toes pointing to the side, right foot in. So we know in this pose, as we open the heart, throat, shoulders, that we're opening to our joy kosha, energy and joy kosha, but then we're adding, we can always add, we're opening also to our strength and creativity and joy. So how can I bring in creativity, which is joyful, index, thumb together, energy and joy, fill my body cells. How can I actively create that artist state? The dance, the music, the writing, singing, that sense of awe as we take a walk out in nature. Bending your left knee as we come up to dance we're moving from a Trikonasana to peaceful warrior, tracking your left knee over the second toe, opening up, maybe even wrapping this arm around. You can even rest the hand at the back of the head. But you're rooting down with every breath, pulsing with every breath, the peaceful warrior. We know we need the balance and strength. We need the boundaries of the classic warrior, of course. But then we open to the other side to the peaceful warrior as well. Okay, place the block on the other side. Expressing the creativity with confidence and joy and strength. A little bit different of our affirmation. So opening up, right toes out to the side, left foot in, extending, and letting your hands slide by the block or the shin, adding mudra. So the classic is energy and joy. Fill my body cells. But we're also opening up to creativity and strength. And that is joyful. But there's the intention to set that, and the intention to express that. Some we're taking in, others we're expressing by writing, etc. Energy and joy fill my body cells. Then as this arm comes down, the right knee bends, and we sweep it up into our peaceful warrior, wrapping. Watch that knee popping forward, bring it back by the little toe in that direction. Maybe resting the hand by the head, maybe interlocking. Just as I look out the window, just the light hitting, right? The trees, the grass. It's opening up to the awe and the wonder. The creator's creation, if you will. And then rising up and finishing our standing pose series with our hands together, Kali Mudra. Opening and listening, communication and listening in the throat chakra as what can we purify? Palms reach out, but then we reach all the way around us, interlocking, so strong for the upper neck and throat and shoulders. Listening to the sound as the knuckles lift to the sky
crown of the head toward the earth. Several pulses here. Stay with it. Stay with it as we affirm. I'm working toward voicing and expressing in a calm, clear, and considerate way. The 3 C's, calm, clear, and considerate way. And then hands slide down the sides of the legs. Spine elongates. Bend the knees. Come into a Mulasana if you can. Heel, toe, heel in, toes out. You can use your block to sit on it. It's hard to go, it wants support for that deeper squat. And again, into the Kali Mudra. Notice how the yoga, we just naturally move into more interiorization, more listening. And more witness observer, being aware of the fluctuating personality and the different ego formations that of course happen, but we can step back like that and witness and observe it, practice and integrate from our wisdom self that spacious listening. And now we're going to come all the way down. Of your block by your side. Okay. All right, feet plugging in, heart lifting up. In every breath lies infinite power. We're going to extend one leg, palms face one another. Navasana. Switching, exhaling through the mouth. Ushita chakra, throat. Make sure you balance that out. And then letting your low back ease toward the earth, core strength. As we come down to the mid back, side to side, upper back, press through the feet. Iron out the back body, a little bit more room. Space all around you, as well as within you, as you draw in those knees to the shoulders and really iron out the back now. Now, I mean, more focused, we're ironing out the back, but the head and the neck are releasing. As you go to one side, notice that movement of the neck. That oceanic sound. So when we go attune to listening, we'll tune into that, or we'll take ourselves to the ocean. Very calming. Although we know the ocean could be very turbulent as well, but the sound is very calming. And the color is blue. Happy baby. Hands could be on the calves or the inner borders of the feet as you rock side to side. And if it's helpful to visualize your favorite island, our body water, perhaps, even though water is second chakra, but the oceanic sound. Okay, let's come into our bridge and have the large toes turning in. And heels slightly apart, plug in through the feet so you feel, maybe adjust your shoulders down away from the ears. We're going to do a bridge pose, so great for all the chakras. We're going to ripple up, but especially the back of the neck and throat, the chin tucking here as we inhale. And we're, again, if you want more intensity, you'll always get more intensity by the interlocking. Don't turn your head like me, just keep it in line with that hollow of the throat, chin to the throat. Spread the toes wide. Every thought can be a bridge back to my eternal true nature. We sense ourselves going away, and we could use that thought to bring ourselves back. So we're aware of the negative spiral that can happen. We catch it, and we be a detective, and then we replace it with a higher truth, a higher affirmation. Oh yeah, I'm working on a higher affirmation. The peace and harmony, or love, energy, and joy, whatever it is, not denying, not bypassing. If we need to, write it out, do the work, don't bypass, but also not be taken down with the negative thinking. So every thought can return us back, release to our true self, to our divinity, to our higher self, which is here, which is whole, which is free, but it's more quiet. Okay, inner knees could touch for a moment to contain it. Hands on the belly, hand on the heart. Let's do a windshield wiper twist, and have the neck involved so the feet are hip width apart, or actually wider, mat width apart. Arms out to the side. Then the several classes ago with this variation of the knees dropping down to the right. Now, notice if you wanna, it really helps to turn the head to the left. And then place that right hand, and notice when you press through the upper, the lower thigh, upper knee, you press down, that opens up the hip and side angle connection even more. Then you can soften. And we can bring the arms out to the side, and we can sweep this left arm up and around with the head and neck going along for the ride. Divine life is within me and all around me. Divine life is within me and all around me. Just absorb into that. Breathe into that. Engage the core. Knees come up. Take a moment to reset. And then knees go over to the left. Head turns to the right. Left hand, that lower left thigh, opening up that hip more. Open up the shoulders again. We're all connected, even though we're working on this particular chakra. And we're sweeping the right arm up and around. That left arm could come out to the side as we affirm outwardly or inwardly. Divine life is within me and all around me. 2 or 3, I think we did 2 last time. If you want to go a third, always welcome to. Engage the core, lift the knees, reset onto the central channel. See if the knees want to touch, or if you want to go into Supta Baddha Konasana. Shoulders away from the ears. And hear the sound of the breath, the sound of silence, if you will. It's really not silent, it's vibrational. Everything's energy. We're aligning. And the way we are meant to with the chakra lotus petals facing upward. Tuning in to what would feel best for Shavasana for you. I'm going to invite, I know we did shoulder stand last time, but if it's too much on your neck, you could, let's all just bring up the legs and kind of shake them out to get the inversion. Inversion is so important. And then if you can rotate the ankles, that's great, and flex back and forth. If you're going to do shoulder stand, you could do that with your hands or a prop. I don't know about everybody's neck though. So for many of us, we'll need to have the legs extended on a wall or any kind of variation that works for you. What I was going to show was, if we're doing a classic shoulder stand, is to support your low back. And then I'm going to just do half shoulder stand here. And at some point, you bring one leg over. I'm going very quick. But make sure if you do that one, you come out very slowly and rippling down. So that's you'd want a blanket. You really want to respect your neck there, but that's a tremendous throat chakra opener. Plow, shoulder stand, or simply having the legs up the wall, of course, will help reverse the blood flow, the lymph, and everything flowing from our usual gravity position. We're going in a different gravity point there. All right. So getting yourself comfortable, whatever that is. I'm going to move closer, guide us through. Restoration. Hear the sound of the breath in, especially the throat. All right. Depending on your positioning, if you're in shoulder stand, don't move your head side to side. If you're in butterfly or another pose or classic Shavasana, let's start from the top down. And you can ease your head from side to side. Just really feel that blue light at the throat that we've opened up. Your communication, our truth, and the listening. Open to the crown. Open to the witness observer. Compassionate witness observing, just allowing everything to be here without getting in and fixing it up at this point. Just compassionately witnessing. Softening the eyes, the forehead. Your next inhale, feel the cool air coming in through the nostrils and perhaps even coolness at the spiritual eye. And the warm cooked air coming out of the nostrils. Softening through the shoulders as well. If you'd like, exaggerating a yawn to help open the upper and lower jaw. And you might even connect to that inner hearing and listening, the ear canals opening.
you resting now at the breath, the ujjayi sound in the throat chakra? Or reflect again, where in your life are you maybe called to purify or clean up some aspect within yourself? Perhaps where are you not 100% honest in your life with your own behavior? Or is there even a conversation that you may need to have with another? Clarification. So if anything comes now or later, as we move deeply into the heart center, the floor, the ceiling, the side walls of the chest, ventilating. Another aspect of the throat and heart chakra combined is being curious about our consumption of what we're taking in, especially in the media. We want to choose carefully what we're consuming. What we're reflecting outward from that. Dropping deep into the solar plexus in the belly. How are you most called to express creativity? Feeling your low back, your hips. Sensation streamlining down through the legs. Soles of the feet, digits of the toes. Pulsation there. There's pulsation in the palms of the hands as well. Energy in these centers. Seeing how the arms can relax just a little bit more. Returning again and again to what's already whole, already free, already aware. And this consciousness itself. I'm noticing if you would like to stay in restoration, or if it's time to transition. And if you do transition, you do it gradually. And I'm just going to ease to the side, resting on your side, remembering the tools to balance our throat chakra, Vishuddha, practicing silence, as well as that skillful communication, speaking your truth with grace, humility, and heart. Perhaps incorporating chanting or mantra, singing, practicing journaling or writing, going on an artist date. And it could be as simple as bringing flowers or something to your home, or noticing flowers in their environment. So all kinds of ways to restore and balance the throat chakra. And the Om sound is very restoring for all the chakras, but of course through the throat chakra, and sending that healing energy to others. Those prayers of care to others, as well as we balance ourselves. We're a clear channel to send the healing energy to others, but no matter whatever state we're in, we can still do that. So perhaps rubbing the hands together to generate some heat. Carrying the 3-syllable Om sound through your throat chakra. Inhale. Ah. And bringing the hands in Namaste by the throat and heart chakra. Bowing to that essential self, the eternal self, already whole, already free, within everyone and everything. That's where we are one. Namaste to everyone as we ease into our day. Let me just stop the recording.